Welcome back, my friends, to the Swing Trading Bunker. I'm your host, Jason, and let's get into what we did today. I did say from last night's show I was going to put on some new positions, and I did just that today. And I also went ahead and took a earnings trade in Intel, and we'll show the results of that. So this will be a fun one. It was a wild day in the markets. Of course, I was at work. Like that's kind of my audience is. I work 9 to 5. Well, who works 9 to 5 anymore? I worked from like 7. Well, do I have to count when I get up? Then I get the kids off to school. Okay, I work from 5 till what time is it? 11 Central, and I'm still doing a little extra right now, getting my finances in order. But like I said, it's what you do. I don't know any different, and I'll probably go back and watch another episode of Daredevil. I'm a season behind, and hit the hay and get up and do it all again tomorrow. Woohoo! But anyway, I digress. Here we go into the portfolio. Well, I don't want to start off with Intel. That's a pretty good winner today, but we'll go ahead and start. So I did say I was going to put on some trades. I looked at a couple today during my lunch hour, and what I wound up doing was I did have, what is it? Let's go to our history today. These are the trades I made today. I bought some shares of Intel. I bought 30 shares of Intel early in the morning. That's going to be the earnings trade. And then I bought 10 shares of SNXX, which is it's the SNDK 2 times. So basically SNDK is a really highly priced stock. And so this index is like 2 times the what would you say? Well, it's cheaper, but it moves 2 times the amount that SNDK, the actual stocks, moves. So leveraged, it's a leveraged ETF. That's what I was looking for. It's been a long day. Anyway, so it does have its own ATR, and I use a calculation based on the ATR to show how much risk I want to put into, and that determines how many shares I buy, and then I set my stop accordingly to that and follow it up. So if you know the turtle traders, I use their N value to assess risk on my positions against my whole portfolio. It's a really good system. I kind of went over that last night, how I calculate that with my options, and I do the similar process with equity, with stocks. So anyway, I took 10 of that one. Its average true range is about $8, and you can see we're a little bit down on the position, but it was near a support level. We were hoping for a breakout. It just didn't happen today. The market was pulling back so hard. Speaking of the market, I tell you what. Getting back on this, was this not a beautiful hold of the previous? It's even prettier on the futures, but this is our previous all-time high, and this is us breaking down and then rebounding and breaking over the all-time high, and then we've kind of gone sideways. But on the futures, we actually touched this line perfectly and then shot back up midday. So it was a good day. You can see here on this chart, that's the day we were just selling off, then pew, right back up. Didn't get it all back, but we got most of it back. But anyway, I'm going to say anyway a lot. I'll try not to do that. So those are those 2 trades that I took today. I went ahead and I closed out a Walmart trade. We look over here on my that's SPY. We want Walmart. Let's go with my positions and get over there. Okay, I closed out my Walmart position. It hit 50%. That was my monthly that I was. Family might be clawing at the door to get at me. They're not going to school tomorrow, so I don't know why they would. But anyway, Walmart shot up early in the morning and crossed over my 50% threshold. And based on the tasty trade rules, when you have one of your 45 days that you're nearing 21, you manage it or get 50%. So it was over that. So I went ahead and closed it out 50%. But as you can see on my transactions, I actually opened 2 more positions on it because why not? It's been moving up. It's one of my most profitable stocks. If you look at my P&L list, let's see if I can do that. I'll show you my little chart. Oh, it's not going to let me window capture. There we go. Let's see if we can get it to come up. There we go. So we can look on my, I've got a trading journal, essentially. This is all the trades I've taken this year in my Tasty account. My detailed log basically it's got an algorithm that breaks everything down and matches up my trades against each other from P&L, and then I can get this dashboard to fill it out. So these are my most profitable symbols, and you can see that Walmart 265.45, and if we flip back over to that one, you can see that well, our 2 trades are up, but essentially that's the profit. We're actually higher than that, but okay, whatever. I shouldn't. Back over to the dashboard. So I closed out my original Walmart position and then go in ahead and open 2. Like we're nearing the earnings for them, so I think I only went out a week, like next Friday. So we'll try to collect some premium on that. And I think I took out 2 contracts. We'll go over that in a second. But it's kind of cool dashboard. Shows my P&L and then my commissions. And this P&L is after commission. So we're doing pretty good this year. Almost up $1,000. Like I said, our goal is about 135, 165 a week. That's my goal of premium that I'm trying to collect from the market. And we're a little off pace, but I did not factor in commissions when it comes to options. So I'm hoping to maybe make up those commissions back on some equity trades, which are commission free, and kind of use that to pay for, well, as long as they're winners, pay for my commissions, and then we'll get a pretty accurate count on my win rate is pretty close to the delta that I normally choose. I normally choose a 20 to 25 delta, which would give you about a 75 probability win rate, and we're shooting around 70, so that's pretty good. Average win is $64. Average loss, some of those are my day trades that I've got in there, but I know that looks higher, but I've got a lot more wins than I've got losses. So my profit factor is 1.5. So I think that how that calculates, and you could tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. For every dollar I risk, I make $1.05, something like that, or make 50 cents on every dollar I risk, something like. But my return for the portfolio is sitting around 14%. It's a return on my risk, which is not too bad. Like I said, a professional makes about 15 to 20, and if we continue to try to collect premium around the 135 or 1.25% of the account value, we should have a rate around 40% return for the year, and that's the goal. So that's kind of what we're seeing, if we can estimate those annual goals and then how close we can come to achieving them, and that's what we're doing here. Okay. So let's go back to the portfolio, and you can see I did Walmart trade. The Intel I said was a day, not a day trade. It turned into a day trade because it went up so much after hours. I went ahead and sold half my position on that to kind of pay for my other the butterfly I sold, and I'll get to that in a minute. And then I opened up an Oracle position because that one closed out. So I opened up a new position on Oracle. And I believe that covers everything new. But as you can see, I took two contracts on Walmart. And our earnings is May 8th. So I only did not 2 weeks, I only did a 1 week option on that one. Around 26 25, 26, whatever. I got some pretty decent premium on that one, so we'll wait that one out. Like I said, I try to collect 75% of that when I do a weekly, 50 to 75. It really depends on how it's running, what the market's looking like. But that is a really initiator for my option wheel strategy, and I can do a video on that separately. I won't go into that, but that's my Walmart position. We're in a good spot right there. What was our short strike? Is it 28? And if we go look here, 28 is right there. So we're kind of breaking out of that one. We've got good momentum. All in all, I kind of like that trade. And our, what is that, our 100? I think light blue is 100. No, it's our 50. The yellow is 100. So our 50 daily SMA is right here, which is 25. And that's our 100. And of course, that's our 200. So pretty doing okay on that one. Oracle, like I showed, I took... did I take a second position on that one? Yeah, because I've been in this trade. Oh, I did a weekly. How long have I been in that trade? Oh, yeah. So I added to my Oracle. I had a monthly on for Oracle and went ahead and did a weekly on it, just to kind of up my premium collection for next week. So what would we get for that one? That was the monthly there, and this is the weekly. So we got 30. Interesting. Yeah, so we're a little down on that position, 31. All right. This is our General Mills position. Like I said, that was one that's at a major yearly low, and it's one of those staples. So I went ahead and took sold a put in that one at that resistance level. We've kind of pulled back, but we've kind of gone sideways since then. Put it on right around there. But that's that one, and we're nearing 22 days, so we're probably going to have to roll that one back out, or I'm going to own it. And then we'll sell calls against that one. Palantir, this one sold off pretty good today. See, look at that big red bar. We went from 150 to 140. We've done that a couple times. Like when it got around this area, it did it 3 days in a row. So we'll see how that goes. This kind of will be our example. If we get there, if it pulls back far enough to where we close out in the money, we'll close this one out, and then we'll go out 6 months and buy a call, and then we'll sell calls against it in the short weeks until it flips back over. And that'll be a good learning experience for the channel. But I had to do it with was it Palantir? Which one was it? That was yesterday. I'll look through it with one of the other stuff. Oh, it's OKLO, which took off today. We can look at that. But it was OKLO. It had been trending down. I got it closed in the money, or was going to close in the money, so I closed it out and then went and bought a call out 6 months, and then started selling at that short strike. I can go over that trade. I may make a video on the life of that trade, but where my short strike was on my puts, I sell calls at that until the stock gets back over that, and then I close those two positions out and then start selling puts again. And that's kind of my put strategy, or call put strategy. or not call, my option wheel strategy. Wow, can't talk today. And so Tilray is the one I've talked about last night that I kind of went along with my brother. He owns a lot of shares of this one, and we did not get any news today that they changed they said they were gonna look into it, or most possibly as soon as Wednesday, but Thursday rolls around and we still haven't seen a reclassification of the marijuana, which if we did, this probably would have went up higher. So we kind of did as we expect with these stocks at this level. We sold off all day, and we started off at 9, and so I was up pretty good on mine, but of course it's till you close out, it's unrealized profits to unrealized losses. And so we'll ride that one out. We'll see what we get. I did add plenty of time on that one. I think I'm 56 days on my 3 naked puts, and then that I sold, and then of course I've got all the way to the end of the year on the calls that I bought at 14. So they were looking pretty good for about 30 minutes this morning, and then it all just went down. But then again, so did the whole market. So, and then, as I mentioned earlier, this is my leveraged ETF that is for SNDK, and so it's a more affordable option to trade that, but it does move twice as fast, so you have to watch out for that. So make sure when you do your position sizing. And I didn't like the option prices on that one, so I went ahead and just bought the shares in that one, but used the same capital as I would have if I was selling an option. And that's my positions. I'm probably about 70% at risk level, so that's not too bad. Probably will look tomorrow and see if I can put one more position on before the end of the week, and then carry over the weekend, and then we'll manage it next week. We'll see. We have to look into earnings though, so we got to watch that. But I kind of want to go over my earnings trades. So I did 2 earnings trades. This is kind of a rare thing for me. I don't usually trade the news as far as trying to make a profit from it. A lot of times I will get out of positions because of news, but a lot of times when the news is out, the move's already happened one way or the other. So usually it's a moot point. But I noticed a couple weeks ago that Tesla said that they were going to use Intel chips in their I wonder if it's in the news cycle here. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, Tesla gains as Musk taps 14A process for. So that news right there happened 423. But it pulled back to that level when the market pulled back the other day, and so I went ahead and think, well, they're probably going to talk about that in the earnings. That might get us a run up after hours. So I did 2 things. I went ahead and I actually bought 30 shares of Intel, which was 7 over my risk, and then I was going to see what happened. And then when the stock after hours, we probably have to turn on, let's go to like the 15-minute. See if we can see the after. As you can see, after hours into the earnings call, it was a win for them. So we shot up. Now when it got up to around here and started after about, I would say 30-45 minutes or so, I went ahead and closed half my position, because when I'm doing a swing trade with stocks, you're only supposed to buy like half of my position, and then as it progresses past and breaks out the next time, you put on another let's say 25% of the whole position, or 30%, and then the third another percent, and then you get to where your whole position, you're completely funded in your position, and then you ride it out as long as you can. It's once again, it goes back to the turtle strategy of swing trading. So I kind of follow that thinking when I do that. So I went ahead and closed out half of that, took the profit, and that basically paid for my second strategy that I did, which we're shooting for 80, I believe. So the second strategy, I do this from time to time, and I would do it daily. I used to do 0 DTE trades when I had more money in my account, but I had to, through COVID, I had to back off, and yeah, I don't want to get into all that. But anyway, my account is as big as it used to be. Because I had to pay the bills. So now I'm waiting for the rule change on June 4th, where that your day trading rule will be assessed by the risk you put on as opposed to the trades you make. So my 0 DTEs will only put on about $100 per risk, so it shouldn't really be considered as a day trade, and therefore I'll be able to do my 0 DTEs on daily once again. And I really enjoy those, which are fun. So, but what I did for the earnings trade is I created a butterfly. It's a $5 wide, so the maximum you can make when you buy it is the width of the spread, so $5, so it would be $500 minus what you paid for it. And with this one specifically, I paid, let's see if we can go look that up. We're probably easier on the change. I paid $81 for it. Now, with the stock that I sold and went up, it doubled this. So this is basically a free trade for me, which is good. But what we're gunning for is to hit our short strike, which is at 75. But we'd like it to stay in our butterfly between 70 and 80. And we paused there for a while, and I was really excited. We were sitting here, and then late hour push. But a lot of times with these earnings, tomorrow they'll pull back. And I think tomorrow I only did, 1 day. So 1 day, it'll close out tomorrow. So hopefully we can see some kind of profit. A lot of times I only shoot for like 20-30% profit on these. So that would be what I'd sell. I bought it, so I'd sell it for $1.20 maybe. That's what I shoot for. But if it hangs around towards that 75 strike tomorrow, then we'll just wait and try to wait out the premium and see how much we can get out of it. I may do some shorts on that one and kind of walk through that whole process of how it goes, because it would be very similar to what I would do if I was doing a 0 DTE butterfly. But anyway, I did that one. If you want to see what I did, when I put it on, Tasty has this little red bar right here is the expected move. They have the 2 dotted lines. One is the standard deviation and the second standard deviation. But this was the key, is the expected move, and it's based on the IV rank of the stock, and it's more mathematical. So what I did today, when I did it, the expected move, see, we were down at 66. So when we look at this, we were at 66. The expected move was what, 13? No, 66. That would be 56. There's 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 13. So it was 13. So it's 66. I didn't go the full expected move, but this was a part of it. So if the 13 would be 79, and that's where I put it, 75. So this was the expected move, and it got up to around here. So I could have probably put it further out, but I was shot it at one little over one standard deviation is what I did. But so we're hoping it'll land somewhere in that butterfly, and we can collect some money. If I break even or make a little bit of money, I'll be fine, because I made it on the so much on the shares. Like I said, I still have 15 shares of Intel, and that right there is still up $200. So we're doing pretty good on that one. And we'll trailing stop that one. That we're trade. It's not really a long-term investment, although it could turn into one. I could start building a bigger position of that one. That would be kind of fun. But anyway, that's kind of my portfolio for today. That's the overview. Um, uh, I don't have any plans on any other stocks today. I know Apple was one that I looked at today during the day. We kind of are trading sideways. And if I go back to my daily, we kind of pulled back today. So like I said, I usually try to do a Darvis box, so that would be the top, but we got to be outside, so that's a new top. I think I gotta look at that rule again, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 to 5 days, and so it doesn't break out the high or the low for 5 days, and that's how you can start the box. So technically we don't have a box formed just yet. But Apple, was it PL, I think? There was Rocket Lab news. Planet Labs and Rocket Labs. No, it was RL. Yeah, Rocket Lab. There it is. That was a big pullback today. Yeah, it's got good liquidity. What's its IV? Its IV ranks really low, so that means there's not much premium in there, even if you were looking at it. So if I did my vertical spread, I like to do 3, not 5. 1, if I can. So 2, 3. Wow. If that was you did the at the money. I don't do that one very often. I still like to have a little leeway. 25 is 22 is my sweet spot. Wow, that actually is pretty good. When its IV rank is only 2.3. Wow, those premiums. When is earnings? May 7th. Wow. $79. So I got that gap up. So, if we're technical analysis, this would be the first place it would look, which is about where your 79 is. You'd expect the first place where it pulled back, it'd pull back to right here first. But with this gap, which would go from this close to this open right there, it could easily, since there's just nothing there other than this right here, big ups and big downs, it could come valley deck to 73 before we started going back up again. Interesting. I'll have to keep that one in mind. But anyway, that's kind of it for tonight. Wanted to show you my trades. I'll give you an update on the Intel position tomorrow. Probably intraday. I might do some shorts. But if you have any questions, want to know more about my strategies, how I trade, how I assess risk, how I find what to trade, I've got my own little method to my madness for all of those, and just leave a comment down there and ask a question, and I'll be glad to it. Oh, if you'd like to see this more as a live show instead of a nightly recap, leave that in the comments, because I do have my lunch hour and I've got a laptop and I can go to the local library and do a streaming for about an hour, 30 minutes or whatnot, if you prefer a day trade to get some day trading ideas, or at least put on positions while the market's still open. That's always fun. But anyway, you have a great time, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care now. Bye-bye then.